and welcome to Fox 5 News with our special report of Fuels on the 5. Today, in our news report, we will be talking about fuels, and we will be talking about alternative energy sources and about going green. Going green! Now over to you, Sebi. Hello. Thank you, Sebi, for that nice update. And now I'm going to tell you about non-renewable resources. First of all, you might ask, what is a non-renewable resource? Well, a non-renewable resource is a resource from the environment that cannot be replenished or replaced. In other words, once it's gone, it's gone. And the three main sources of non-renewable energy are oil, coal, and natural gases. Over to Sebi to tell us what renewable resources are all about. Thank you, Sebi, for that nice report on non-renewable resources. Now the other end of it, renewable resources. A renewable resource is a resource that you can use over and over again. It keeps coming back. There's no end to it. Some examples of those are wind, water, and sun. Some energies use those to produce energy for homes in Maryland, like solar-powered energy, geothermal energy, which is heat from the ground, and then you have hydro energy and wind energy is from the turbines. Now over to Sebi again with a report on the downside and the negative effects to using renewable and non-renewable resources. Thank you, Sebi. And now coming to you live from my front yard, I'm going to show you and tell you about some of the negative effects of using non-renewable resources. For example, lots and lots of air pollution. Air pollution can create acid rain, and that's really bad for all the plants, animals. It also creates polluted waters. Polluted waters can kill animals. It's bad to swim in. It makes our drinking water bad. It can affect everyone. And another big effect is the rising of the sea levels. It causes global warming, and when it causes global warming, it affects the glaciers to melt. And when the glaciers melt, that's a lot of water going into the sea. So the sea levels rise by a lot. And those are a few effects of using non-renewable resources like fossil fuels. Now back over to you, Sebi. Thank you, Sebi, for that nice report. Now you're back to me live in the Carter Rock Springs area of Montgomery County, Maryland. Now I'm going to talk to you about the use of natural resources. There are a few homes and schools and houses in this area that use geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is good because you don't have to spend as much money on heating, and even better, you don't have to use all those fossil fuels. Did you know that the biggest energy powering houses in Maryland is fossil fuels? That's pretty sad to hear. Now I'm going to talk to you about the geothermal energy. There are a few houses and schools, like I said before, like for example, the Carter Rock Springs Elementary School. They use geothermal energy to heat and cool their classroom. Do you know how that works? I do. Basically, there are a bunch of pipes in the ground, and they go down to a point in the core of the earth where the temperature is constant, which is maybe around 60 degrees or so. Then you run the water down through the pipes, and it heats, and that temperature is brought into the school or the house or wherever it's powering and heating, and it keeps it at a constant rate, so you only have to fluctuate it by a little tiny bit. It really saves the environment. You should use it too if you're getting renovation on your house one day. Now, some other resources like hydro, wind, and solar. Solar is used by a few houses in Maryland. Now back to you, Sebi, for a live on the spot view of a house that actually uses geothermal energy. You saw that house, right? It's a nice house, I know. Did you notice how it didn't have any big clunky panels or no wires sticking out of the ground or poles shooting up from the soil? Yeah, it looks ordinary, I know. That's why it's good to use geothermal energy, because you can't see it. It makes it look like an ordinary house, but really it's saving you and it's saving the environment. This house over here, 7509 Hamilton Spring Road, it uses geothermal energy. As Sebi told you about before, this is a great source of energy. And it's a real live example how people are just making a slight little change to make it better for the environment. Now back to you, Sebi. Thank you, Sebi. It's really interesting to see how houses in our area are starting to take a step to help the environment. I love it, don't you? Now you can go on to fox5.com to see more about this special interview. Now that me and Sebi have shown you about how natural resources and non-renewable resources and renewable resources can affect and hurt the environment and help it, maybe you can take a step for yourself. Take a stand, help the environment. This has been a Fox 5 News Report on Fuels on the 5. Thanks for watching. This Fox 5 News Report has been brought to you by Susan G. Komen, Race for the Cure.